Video games have been invaded by feminists at an exponential rate. On the one hand, you have blatant attempts to censor the medium through guilt-tripping male sexuality and most guys' healthy disregard for political correctness. On the other hand, guilt-tripping men from playing video games altogether by telling men to stop playing video games because it deters them from finding a nice, strong, independent woman to put on their life's payroll. Now, video games getting attacked is nothing new. They have been attacked by the religious right for years, calling them too violent and pervertive. However, the feminist outcry seems to be the more louder one these days, perhaps a reflection of the times. After all, religious objection is based on some made-up morals, so let's ignore them. Feminism, however, well, they are all about factual information. The biggest irony is that most of the white knights who are getting outraged would be the same ones rigidly defending the game had the objection come from the right. What lets them think in this way is that the objection cleverly only targets males rather than everyone, and males should just cater to what women want, right? The best example of this was the recent Hitman trailer, where sexy dressed nun assassins got their asses handed to them by Agent 47. Now, people have been shown to be graphically beat up many times before, but this was different because it was only women getting beat up by a guy, and the women were dressed like sluts, and were probably lesbians, at least in my imagination. How dare they not superimpose a strong independent woman also taking some of the nuns out? It could have made a great stance against the oppression of organized religion. Hell, if it were male priests being beaten up by female Agent 47s, there would not only be no complaints, but it would be held up as empowering for women, to bash men up. Well, I do see the clip as empowering for men, but not because you get to beat women up, but because it is a fuck you to political correctness and a freedom of expression. See, we don't want to ban anything here. We don't want to censor anything. If women want to play games where they chop off a guy's balls all the time, then go for it. We are for freedom. Where we have a problem is when one thing is alright, but the other is offensive and wrong. Feminists would have Mario chasing after some fruit rather than the princess, so long as it didn't offend any vegans. At the same time, it would be said that it's equally misandric to show a hard-working male risking his life chasing after a privileged princess. The only difference being, we don't care because it's a video game. I don't care about playing as a female character, as long as it fits the story and the game, and not just being put there for the sake of making some feminazi that would never play the game anyway happy. That kind of stuff annoys the hell out of me, and makes me avoid buying the game, and because in general, when game designers start making these concessions, it makes the game suck as well. So I urge you guys, vote with your wallet. Don't put up with any more Final Fantasies 13s. But at the same time, don't be a mindless drone in the opposite direction and buy Hitman just because of the nun thing. Simply cultivate a taste for the best things, and you can't go wrong, because the best gaming experiences can't exist in a sea of censorship and sucking up to feminists. Just make sure your own personality has not been tainted by anybody else. Make sure you like what you like, even if it might offend somebody somewhere. If you want to run over hookers, do so. If you want to call somebody a retard because they can't play the game well, go ahead. Or bash up some sexy nuns if you have to. And always remember the practical implications on society. Imagine if sexy nuns ever did attack you. People would never be prepared for it because everyone would think it was socially unacceptable.